Meowdy, Delco, and Hachi Machi. We've got another great episode for you tonight. We've got three great guests in studio. They are from an entity called Delco Dawgs, not to be confused with the hot dog place with a similar name. And they're going to tell us all about what they do, the state of the well-being of, just animals in general in Delaware County, and just all the things we should be on the lookout for, and all the things we can do to help them and basically the whole animal community along, like we're St. Francis of Assisi and just all the happy animals around us. But first, we've got some sponsors that we have to do our due diligence in telling you they exist and all their specials.
All right, guys, don't forget Fatcal Jerky, utterly perfect jerky, jalapeno garlic, honey habanero, teriyaki, you name it, they got it. Go on Facebook, Instagram, or go to fatcaljerky.com for all your favorite jerky needs right out of here, right out of Delco. Don't forget Dolan's Bar, the most Delco bar.
And Tanning Salon,
according
to
PJ, right? I was telling PJ on Friday we called him Tan PJ. Quizzo Music, great.
Wow, what a great insult! We call PJ Tan PJ because he got a tan. Wow, that'll sting just like that sunburn.
Quizzo Music, great times, memorabilia giveaway. Go to dolansbar.com, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, they got it. They're on there. Check them out. And if you get hurt at work, motor vehicle accident, personal injury,
you get burned by Tanning Salon,
whatever it is. Or you're just a typical scumbag criminal Delconian. CharlieInjuryLaw.com, 610-565.
The most comfortable ankle monitors.
610-565-0300, CharlieInjuryLaw.com.
Does he deal with gun laws? Because he was wearing a sleeveless shirt at Delco Day, and he's got some freaking weapons for biceps.
I guess he's going to need a permit to carry now. But don't forget to go to DelcoLive.com. Click on the merch store, and here's one of our newest shirts, the Delco Side of the Moon. Check it out. Go to DelcoLive.com and for that and many other merch options for you in the shop right now as we speak.
It's the 50th anniversary of an unknown album with a similar cover to that. We can't really say who or what or anything, but you get the gist. So anyways, we are joined by Delco Dawgs. That's Dawgs, right? Yeah. The super cool way of spelling it.
Dogs.
Yeah.
They found us. They thought we were a bunch of strays, and they figured, oh, wait, you guys got a podcast? This works out.
Yeah, I got confused for a bear again. When did Delco Dawgs become a thing?
Well, in about 2016 is when I founded Delco Dawgs.
Did you run into the naming problems? Because there was actually a hot dog stand called Delco Dawgs.
Well, there actually is another Delco Dawgs with a DAWGS as well. But it's not I think it's a grooming salon or something.
Okay.
It's not a rescue. And there are other Delco Dawgs, DOGS, but we didn't want to, identify with hot dog being an animal rescue.
Right. So, are you guys all vegan?
Well, that's why we brought you on. We thought we were going to hot dogs. This deal, to be honest with you.
I actually am, but for health reasons, really, not for.
Me too.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm not.
No. She's like, I need meat.
Not at all.
Have you had Fatcal Jerky? It's
all.
Spectacular. They come in 8 delicious flavors.
We don't really eat jerky, but
what would be vegan jerky? Like dried tomatoes? I don't know how you can do that.
It would be
tofu. What is that?
No, the other one, seitan.
Oh, seitan.
I used to work in Center City. There was a lot of
my daughter's vegan, and I've had to deal with that a lot to figure out how to cook for 12 people at one time.
It's tough. I'm gluten free and vegan. There's a lot. It's tough.
Yeah, well, she's not gluten free. She's just vegan because she wanted to be. So
yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good
well, I mean, she stuck with it. I give her credit. I would have lasted about 8 seconds.
So, what is Delco Dawgs, and what things are we legally not allowed to call it?
What legally?
We can't call it a rescue.
Oh yeah, we are a rescue.
You are a rescue
we
legally.
Want you to call us a rescue.
Can we call it a center?
We aren't affiliated with anybody. We are our own entity. We are our
own
nonprofit, our own 501. We go by Delco Dawgs.
You're Batman.
We're incorporated, and we don't have any. I mean, you can call us whatever you want.
Batman doesn't need a constitution or the badge.
We're not a shelter.
We don't have.
Yeah, we don't have a facility.
Foster based.
Yes.
All right. So, where is the headquarters, if there is one?
The headquarters is my home, actually, in Delaware County. So any of the we're foster based, and right now.
What town?
Really?
Yeah.
Drexel Hill.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a
good Haverford Township.
There you go.
So right in the heart of Delaware County.
Oh, now that narrows it down.
So yeah, we started in about 2016. I used to work in radio, and I left my radio career to to do this because it was just the right timing. And I've loved animals my whole life. And as I was getting older, I always wanted to help animals. So it started an animal rescue, not knowing what was going to come from it and how much it was going to blossom into so much heartache and rescue fatigue and tragedy and rewarding and goodness and joy and every adjective that you can think of that we've come across. So we did, become legal. We got our 501c3, and then we received our kennel license, and now we're a foster-based rescue. We take in special needs animals, mostly dogs. But
Sorry, Holbrook, you're out.
anything that needs help.
I identify as
abused, neglected, injured, ill, mostly the expensive cases that need surgery and treatments that most other places don't want to put the money into or can't put the money into. Surrenders from people who can't afford, breeders that have congenital defects in animals that they breed. Acton Philly, which is the only facility anywhere around. There's no open intake shelters or facilities in Delaware County. So actually Acton Philly is the closest thing, and they take in 450 to 600 dogs a month. So we pull from them too. We're a rescue partner of theirs. And then I take the overflow in my home and the ones that aren't adoptable that would be euthanized if, they were just left.
So as a foster-based rescue, how do the animals come in and how do they move out? Like, how do you get tipped off onto the new cases?
Well, there's so many ways. We do work with authorities and we do work with police. Police aren't really always taught, dog law and specific things from the Department of Agriculture that sanctions dog law. So they really don't know how to, I don't want to say that they all don't know how, but they're not really taught and it's not enforced for them.
Is that the actual terminology is dog law?
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about
and dog
Always
law
Sunny where they
is
have
like,
bird law.
it's not a joke. I mean, it's a serious big law like that you need to follow, where you can, you'll lose your license, you can have criminal charges brought against you. I mean, you really need to follow.
Wow.
And there's a lot of, legalities. So
authorities will tip you off.
Authorities will, because there's not a lot of animal control in Delaware County, and
Okay.
at the current time, there's no humane officer in Delaware County itself.
Okay. Is that something you guys would like?
Well, it's actually needed. I mean, it's not even that we would like it. It's that it has to be, because we don't have the authority as just a volunteer rescue, to go into people's houses, to try to get warrants from the AG, to do things that humane officers have the capability of doing because they're humane police.
Is the humane officer like basically just like a deputy version of like the game warden?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know who, if they're sanctioned by the county that they work in or wherever. Most of the humane officers are backed by a shelter. Providence Animal Center or Brandywine Valley SPCA or whoever are back. But right now we don't have a local humane officer that's here.
Okay.
So if a dog is out in the heat, or a dog is out in the cold, or a dog is being abused, or a dog is being neglected, we don't have the authority, that people think that we do, to go to somebody's house and say, can we, we're going to look at your dog or take your dog. Or, I mean, even a humane officer needs to get a warrant and have probable cause.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow.
And so
people are frustrated. They turn to us. We get messages and phone calls all
Right.
the time. Hey, can you guys help? There's a dog tied up in 95-degree weather, no shelter, no water, no food all day long. And there's a Libre's law where dogs are not supposed to be out in the heat above a certain temperature because they could die.
But you need someone to enforce the laws, or they don't happen.
Right.
But there is the Pennsylvania SPCA, which is a big help. But I mean, when there's only like one or two, places that are able to help, they get bombarded just like everybody else. All of the rescues right now are full, and I don't mean just dog rescues. I mean bunny rescues. We have bunnies that are out in Delaware County. We picked up 15 bunnies.
Is there a rescue
bunny
just
rabbits.
devoted? I mean, not trying to be a
there's
joke,
a
but
ton.
just devoted to bunnies,
There's
though.
wonderful rabbit rescues.
Oh,
There's
wow.
3 that we deal with, and they have a year waiting list because
Even those gigantic ones. What are those gigantic rabbits?
Fleming,
Thumpers?
Flemings,
Floppy ears.
Floppy.
the Fleming,
Jackalopes.
Yeah, jackalopes.
Jackalopes.
Yeah,
That's
they're
what I was called in high school.
Jackalopes
But,
get me hopping mad.
We'll take them in and kittens and cats that are injured, but we're basically a dog rescue. So we try to work with the rabbit rescues, with bird rescues, with cat rescues, and they're all full. I mean, it's kitten season. They're full of kittens. They're full of cats. All of the rescues right now are having a real
It's kitten season?
down. Yeah,
Is that a thing?
Spring mostly into summer. Yeah,
Summertime's
Is it-
tough
season
because
when
people
all the
are away
kittens
on
pop.
vacation and They're dumping dogs left and right because they have nowhere to place them, nobody to watch them.
And now it's post
they don't wanna
COVID,
pay.
and now it's post Easter where people bought animals for their kids and they're not taking care of them, and
Apparently,
COVID's
that's a
done and
thing
people
I
went
did
back
not
to
know
work.
that was like
People buy Easter rabbits and
no,
just let them.
no. The
Yes.
COVID thing was especially like people they
Huge.
figure like, oh, we're gonna get an animal, we're stuck in the house, we need to do something for the family.
for a year.
And then after like everybody started letting out, they kind of like just they were trying to return the dogs.
Well, everybody went back to work,
Yeah.
and they
Didn't
didn't
have
have time for the animals.
dog.
They don't have time to train them.
I just thought it was funny. They thought you can go to a shelter with a return, like you have a receipt and return it. Like this is a thing.
Well, most rescues like ours, in our contract says that we take our dogs back.
Oh, really?
We want to make sure that they're safe, so we do take. I mean, we don't allow them to be,
Mhm.
but I don't know what shelters and SPCA's do. I don't know what their contracts say.
Okay.
But ours, and other rescues.
It's not just something I would think of. Oh, do you get the receipt for that puppy
we'll
we
take
bought
their
2 years
own,
ago?
yeah.
Like
We're a different kind of rescue. We don't just bring in we're more about quality than we are quantity. We don't really count the number that we save. We want.
What is the number though?
We don't.
You
even-
have
Yeah.
to know.
We don't know. We actually wrote a book last year, and we have a book out that has.
are there
tons of
authors
the
too?
dogs,
Man, they're really just making
hundreds
us look
and
bad.
hundreds and hundreds and pictures, but we don't, because we're more about
Hundreds. I'm
each
going to 610 of
close to
them.
1,000.
Thousands.
I mean,
6,010.
I
We'll
would
go with
say
that.
But it's not like
1,610 animals saved. Wow.
That number will grow
it's not
between
like a
the-
transport from the south where a truck comes up with 500 animals on it at once, and whatever. I mean, we take the really bad cases. They can be $10,000-$15,000 each animal to fix, and that's basically what they are, which is why our bills are so high.
And
explain-
per animal.
Explain
animal.
what you mean by that, because they don't understand.
The dog with the
She can look at me and
prolapse.
just say, "This guy does not
Here's
understand."
here's
A
good
prolapse
situation.
rectum.
Well, we've had, the
That
couple that
is the
we've
most
taken in the last
common phrase on this show sometimes.
prolapse rectum.
Prolapse rectum.
Well,
Yeah.
That was actually the original name
we'll
of the
have
show.
to listen
Yeah.
more often.
Yeah.
It's a name
So
for a band.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a painful condition. It's a condition that people, have animals if they don't want to take care of them, or they don't know
When
how
your
it's going to turn out
butthole
long
revolts
term.
against you.
Yeah, or they don't know if it's something they can afford, then they get dumped in the street.
I was gonna
or
say,
they get
is that
surrendered?
is that a big thing? Like people going, "Oh, my dog has something, and it's going to cost me this amount."
Yeah. And unfortunately, because there are no facilities or intake shelters and anywhere for them to take them, a lot of them are dumped. They're let go in the street, and they become street dogs, and some are, hit by cars.
it-
We pick up deceased animals too. I mean,
Is it possible for someone to like we said, in like not a aggressive way, but surrender an animal they can't afford to you?
oh yeah, they do all the time.
Okay.
And then we look at, and
Charge 'em?
we do the well,
No.
no, we end up paying, $10, $15, $20,000
tar and
sometimes
feather
to take
them.
care of their animals. But we do a pro and con thing, and we will see whether or not it was the person that surrendered the animal's fault that the animal was injured or so ill. If it turns out that, there's a lot of situations where somebody just, really can't afford something that just was a freak thing that wasn't their fault, and they're good dog owners, and we will adopt the dog back to them after we pay for the surgeries and everything. But then there are
That's pretty
cases.
rad.
Yeah, but
Oh,
the-
so you will help people kind of afford something
We
that they
do.
wouldn't have.
We do.
Okay,
Which
well,
is
that's
why
actually
we're
a pretty
so
good
in-depth.
idea.
we do. But then there are cases where, if they're repeat offenders where the dog has gotten out 3 and 4 and 5 times and it was hit by a car the 4th time it was out, then obviously it's not a safe home for the dog to go back to.
Mhm.
If it's a condition that's chronic, that's going to need treatment moving forward, and they don't have the money moving forward, then obviously, the dog's going to have to be rehomed somewhere else. So we
Okay.
take everything really seriously.
So, and you're on the wrong show. I'm not kidding. But all right. So, like you said, donations is a big thing for you guys.
It's the only way that we
Okay.
exist.
So let's get to that part real quick, and then I'm going to ask you another follow-up question. Like, so how would somebody donate to Delco Dawgs?
Please just bring us money.
Briefcase.
Our
back-
bills. I mean, people literally say how do you get?
You
up
sound like
100
every phone call to my dad. Please just bring me money.
Please bring me money. People wonder how do you get bills up to $100,000? Well, literally for us,
Oh my God! So Chase
It's
credit
easy.
card gives you the credit
That
card,
might
and then
be
you run it
5
up, and you
that
try
might
to
be
pay it off
$5.
with the
Yeah,
Capital
for us.
One.
I mean, yeah, for us that might be $5. For somebody, another rescue, if they take in healthier dogs, and I mean, all dogs that are safe need to be rescued. So if they take in dogs that don't need surgeries and don't need all of that, they don't need as much funding. I mean, they all need funding, but they may not need as much because we need.
But if
funding for
a
the
listener
specialists
right
and the
now is
surgeons.
going, I want to donate without
Venmo,
having to walk a bag with a dollar
they
sign.
can
to
call
your
the
front
vet
door.
directly, and we
Yeah.
encourage that because our vet, our specialist is open 24/7,
Mhm.
and
Who's the vet?
VRC in Malvern.
VRC in Malvern.
And that they do all of our surgeries, all of our specialists are there, and then Glenolden Vet right down the road is
Mhm.
our
The
our
veterinary
primary.
Radnor Clinic.
On Lancaster
Is that what it
Avenue.
stands for?
It's veterinary referral services.
Yeah.
Ah.
And they're wonderful. I mean, they have a neurologist and a
Services
cardiologist
was
and an
sick.
MRI machine. I mean, they have everything. It's like
Wow.
one-stop shopping. So, I mean, they can do everything there.
So, but they can't go on a link and donate.
Well, right now, I mean, we have a Venmo address.
Okay.
We have a PayPal address.
Okay.
I mean, that's how
And
most
then
people
guys
do.
are we're gonna flash this up on the screen at one point, so we'll get all that. from you
Yeah,
guys
and
as
we
well.
will have
Mail
a
a
link
check as
soon. It's
well.
being
Yeah.
worked on where they can push the donut, but
Yeah.
they can push the
Don't
donate
say
button.
donut around
He
us.
said donut earlier, reminding me.
See,
donut.
his eyes lit up.
Donate.
Yeah. It's like a dog's ears just flopped up. I have a
Dunkin'
dog.
Donuts?
I have a general dog
Hey,
question. Did
his
you guys?
tail's wagging.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
tail is wagging. How do you get rid of
That's my pro
wet
last
dog
rectum.
smell? Just asking for a friend.
How do you get rid of what dog smell?
Yeah, wet
Use
dog
shampoo
smell.
and give the dog a bath.
The hell's shampoo?
What about this?
Dawn dish detergent, some kind of dog
You
shampoo.
mean the hair soap?
So that I've been doing it right. My wife's name is Dawn, and she's been cleaning me ever since.
Well,
So
Dawn
I've
is
been doing
the
it
one-
right.
Dawn's
I've been doing it
fantastic.
right.
Dawn's used for,
Yeah.
animals that
Fleas,
have oil on them.
yeah.
Well, I was going
ducks
to say
and
you saw the
things.
commercial.
With
Where
Like,
they
the
said all the
ducks and
baby
birds.
ducks.
the ducks. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're scrubbing the ducks with the Dawn soap.
Dawn's
Yeah, for
fantastic.
grease.
It's mild.
Yeah.
It's excellent. It really is.
Every time I see an oil tanker crash, I go, "Ooh, I get to watch some ducks," and then never do anything.
It's pretty much true. But
Not a lot of them crash in Marcus Hook.
and they're already oiling the ducks.
Yeah.
Anyway. They're so used to the Marcus Hook oil. So yeah, we'll have the Venmo. You said you're working on a link also, so people just
Yeah.
want
I
to
mean,
donate and or even set up a monthly donation thing. Type.
correct. And on our Facebook page right now, I mean, we post every dog so all of our donors and supporters can see how they're doing before, during, and after, so they know where the money
Oh.
goes. They can see. So we literally post every day our Venmo and PayPal addresses on our Facebook page, so they can see, everything, and they see the beginning to
Well,
end.
let me ask you this question, like, because my sister kind of pops in my head. Like, she's a woman who they go only to rescues and only deal with dogs who are they're ready to put down or do something. And
Yes.
actually, they did a thing where they had to go rescue a dog all the way like middle of the country somewhere, and they set I forget what they called it. They had like a term for it where they set up where people would either donate money or time
A
to
GoFundMe.
drive the dog to a certain distance, and then
Yeah, there's
other
different legs
people
of
would meet them.
transports.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, do you have like people who I don't want to say donate their time, but like
Donate their time.
foster like parents that you have set up for the dogs already?
yeah,
That's
we-
literally.
we
She
have
literally
to-
said
yeah.
they run
Yeah,
all fostering
Yeah,
out.
Yeah.
if we don't have fosters, then we really, wouldn't be able to bring
How
them
many
in.
How do they
Fosters you
sign up
got?
for that? I guess is my next question. for that.
We actually have foster applications.
Ooh.
And yeah, they used to be on our website. Our website is under construction right now. It's being redone. So our
Okay.
Facebook page we're using for everything, and our foster applications are on there. Most people see the dogs that we post first, decide if that's a dog that they want to foster.
Mhm.
But we always look for them.
What would go through like what would the checklist of things have to be if say I wanted to do it? What would I have to like make sure that was in
It
place?
depends on the particular dog.
Lorie
Oh,
and
okay.
Mary actually do
Because
more of the foster and
We
adoption
screen
coordinating.
And we'll go to the homes and, we'll see if this particular dog doesn't get along with other dogs.
Okay.
Then obviously that's not a good home.
So
for
you guys
them.
will actually go visit the house.
Yes.
We do
and
home
if-
Kind
checks.
of like a real adoption, like
We
you know,
do
you
home
have to meet
checks.
with
These-
people.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And 100% of these dogs are essentially like you said, the special cases.
Yeah.
They're all like special cases, not just like little happy pug face is up for
Right.
just can't find a home.
And
or
we
whatever.
could take
You
a lot
in
of,
the
like you
high-risk
said, pug
ones.
face. They're called brachycephalic when they have smushy faces. So we take a
Oh,
ton
I
of
literally was just trying to
brachycephalic
make up a
dogs.
generic name
because
off the top of my head. I
they
was
have
gonna
a
say
lot of
Barney the
medical
pug.
issues and need breathing surgeries, and especially French bulldogs and bulldogs that are bred and need a lot of. So we do take in a lot of those, and they need so much surgery
Care.
and so much work and whatever. So which is why we go out to make sure that people have if they have a fenced in area that there aren't any holes and they can't dig out,
Mhm.
and there
'cause
are.
we also search and rescue
Right.
missing
That was our
pets.
next thing.
Oh,
We'll-
do
We
you?
trap, we
Oh,
rescue,
yeah,
we
we set
search, we
traps.
reunite,
Uh-huh.
and we see deceased animals. We take them off train tracks. We unfortunately
Oh wow.
take them off the streets. We scan them to see if they're owned. We will pay to have them cremated
Wait. When you scan, like, is it like a
to see if they're microchipped,
Yeah,
chip?
so we
Okay,
can,
all
if
right.
there's an owner,
If
find
I
an
didn't know there was
owner.
like a thing where you
Right.
like scan it and you could
Yeah, I
recognize.
mean, we do it all. We're pretty self-encompassing. I mean, which is
How
why
many employees I don't know about
we're all
employees.
volunteers. So
How
it's-
many volunteers are like at the level you guys are?
Well, you'd think it would be a lot more. We do a lot for the few people that we have.
Okay.
Mary, Lorie, and I are the core. We also have Colleen, who does a lot of trapping, and she's just a phenomenal trapper. She really rarely ever misses. And we do have a secretary and we have a treasurer.
Okay.
And then we have a head of fundraising, and then we have a fundraising team underneath her.
Oh, we're talking like
that's
less than
fairly-
2 dozen total.
Fairly
Oh,
new.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's just a handful.
And you guys answer like every call that you can.
get
Yeah.
messages,
24/7
phone
all
calls.
night long, and
Man.
we drive, into whatever areas need.
Did you
Yeah.
guys go out looking for the alligator on Tuesday?
We actually got a call about the alligator, but apparently some masked man picked him up.
My
and
theory
we
is that
didn't need
that
to.
was his pet and he didn't want to get in trouble.
So he went and got it back.
And also, I did not see the masked man. I went down there looking.
It's
He was
funny.
in Upper Darby.
I'm just going to
going
point this out. We've never seen Holbrook or the masked man in the same room. Just pointing these things out. Take it for what you want. I'm
that
just putting it
you,
out there.
Chris?
I
It
was
is-
the first person on the scene. I beat the game warden there.
I did see a stretched
I
out
did.
woolly hat, so
probably-
I figured it was him. to
Yeah,
begin
he
with.
was in Upper Darby on his way to Yaden, right? He was.
It was in the it was the Penn Pines Park, the
So in
Darby
Darby
Creek.
Creek's team.
And
Yeah.
it's funny because my sister's dog that they rescued, they found in the same exact spot, and they named the dog Darby because of that
Nice.
reason.
Yeah. We've had like 20 Darbys, 20 Chesters.
Oh yeah.
We name them sometimes after the cities that they're found in or the
Streets.
streets. Yeah.
What
Of course, me being the
is
terrible brother,
Maple.
like because I just love torturing my sisters. I said she thought she was real smart and funny for coming up with the name Darby because she found the dog
No.
in Darby Creek. I'm like, oh, so you're gonna like let it remember forever it was found in the creek somewhere, not live that down. Way to go! And I'm like, she's like,
it's like a Holocaust survivor naming their daughter Auschwitz.
Yeah,
Or something.
exactly.
Like really?
No,
Like you thought
man.
that was appropriate?
yeah.
A lot of animals that come to us that come from bad situations, a lot of them don't know their names because they really didn't have a lot of one-on-one attention, and their names are usually changed. I mean, generally, new adoptive families will change the names, especially dogs that are, found outside or come from breeders that never had a name because breeders don't really name them, or I
Billy,
mean,
a lot of them are
yeah,
found
from
in the
ACT. I
streets.
mean, they're found in the streets and they just give them a name, so they're
Well, that's funny because like
Changed.
I've adopted 2 cats over
Give
the
them a new
years,
life.
and they all kept. My kids did not want to change their name. I'm like, really? It's like the best part of having.
well, if they're good, we'll keep. But sometimes we like to give them a fresh start
I
and not
guess.
hear something that might
Yeah,
bring back
Yeah,
bad memories.
exactly. Yeah, that's why I keep telling my kids change the name. They wouldn't do it.
What's the most? What's your favorite name you've assigned to an animal?
Oh my gosh, we just
So many.
yeah, we let the vets know when we bring them in. We let the vets pick the names and the people
Well,
that
there
call
was
us.
just a dog 4th of July week that Jill had gone to rescue, and it was bad shape. And we were thinking, what can we call him? What can we call him? And
We named them Boomer.
boom, boom, it's fireworks.
I had a dog growing up that we got on the 4th of July because it was, we don't know if it's stray or whatever. It just came our way and was hiding under our car. And we were going to call it Firecracker, and then we were going to call it Cracker. But it's a white dog, and you can't really be calling a white dog Cracker. So we
Yeah.
ended up changing it to Cookie.
Well, it's funny. Like
Cookie was a Shih Tzu that lived to be like 24, by the way.
Wow.
I know anybody who, like I'm 40 years old. I know I look 60, but I'm 40. And everybody like growing up when I was young had a dog named Tugger.
Tugger?
Tug
Yeah,
McGraw.
My
Tug
brother,
McGraw.
my brother had a cat
Everybody
named Tugger.
Yeah,
Some
like
tugs.
I'm like everybody, like my I knew like my girlfriend I had at the time, like my first girlfriend had a dog named Tugger. My grandparents had a dog named Tugger. My parents, my mom's side of the family had a dog. Like, everybody had a dog named Tugger.
Yeah,
I was like, is this
whatever's
like
popular at the time.
is it like
then
it's, I
Bella.
guess like children's name,
yeah,
They're
Bella became so popular. Everybody's dog's name was Bella for a
Mhm.
while. I mean,
That is an understatement. Yeah.
yeah. We had Bella 1, Bella 2, Bella 3, Bella 4. I mean, the vets were. You need to change.
I was
the
gonna
name
say,
because
like,
there's
how
so
does that
many.
does that get confusing?
Yeah, so we have to pick. We just rescued a tiny little Yorkie on New Year's Eve that we named Clark after Dick Clark because they want to call him Dick, so we called him Clark.
That makes sense.
There was nothing, no.
It's
other-
almost as good as the cracker story.
Yeah.
It's actually better
but,
than yours.
but I mean, we try to be creative just because we just try to come up with new names. So just like she said,
If you
Boomer,
ever
4th
need
of
help
July.
naming an animal, please let me
We're
know.
probably gonna
I
stay in touch with you guys now. Name them. We're
swear-
out of names.
I swear is
If we can
literally
name the
my-
animals, we'll be good at this.
It is my superpower is naming animals.
Oh well, that would be great. We can.
I'm spelling like one.
The one I saw the other day was my favorite. Someone named a cat Pedro Squirrel.
Oh Jesus.
And those are the ones that like you put those in social media and be like, I would absolutely adopt that animal because of that name. Just because the name alone sometimes.
My neighbor named their cat, or no, another dog. It was the dog. Hey you. I don't know why. I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah.
They
But
really
he would
do.
open the door and scream, "Hey you!"
I mean, we have Chase Muttley.
There is Chase Motley, but that's
Yeah.
good though. That's a play on words.
Now we
And a
had someone
popular Philly.
whose dog name was Peeve, so they could say my pet peeve.
Perfect.
That is a good one.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So what's the network of the foster does the network of the foster people is it inclusive to the dozen or so employees you have, or does it go out?
Oh no, it extends. It's
You-
not.
you
yeah,
outsource.
yeah.
These are people
totally.
who would take in from multiple rescues?
Yeah, and a
Okay.
lot of them have their own dogs, and most of them. I mean, we have wonderful fosters. We're really thrilled with our fosters. They're screened really well, and they they know how to. A lot of them know a lot about veterin, not
Yeah, to
veterinary
basically
medicine,
be a
but
low level
because
veterinarian.
our
Yeah.
dogs have special
Yeah.
needs, they're long-term fosters. They need to be there while they heal. They
Yeah.
may be going through PT or rehab and have to go back and forth to the vet. So they don't just hold on to them for a week or two until they're ready to be adopted. I mean, they hold on to them until they're. I mean, we have ones that have amputations, ones that need PT to learn to walk again, when they have rods or whatever put in their legs from being run over by trains or cars. Some that have parvo and other infectious diseases that are contagious and take
Yeah.
weeks or months before that they can go into another home. So we have really good fosters that will hold on to them for a long period of time, and a lot of them do fall in love with them and end up what we call foster failing, which is they end up keeping them because they.
So it's a good thing.
So
It's not the
No,
normal failure
it
Lorie
is.
used to, Holbrook.
Tell me that's a good way to fail. I'm
Yeah.
all about it.
See, Mom?
I mean, we've lost a couple fosters that way, which but at the same time, we're really happy for the dog. We
Yeah.
want the dog to the most important thing for us is just the happiness and the life of the animal. So if we lose a foster, hopefully we'll pick up another one to take their place.
I think that would be the hardest part about being a foster.
It is.
Oh my
It
God.
is.
I'm
It's like,
telling
I
you
don't
right
want to
now,
give it
it's
back.
wise.
Really
Yeah.
hard to
Yeah.
especially when you have them for a longer period than a regular foster. It's really hard to give them up. They get
Yeah.
attached to you, you get attached to them. And Lorie and Mary will do most of the meet and greets where they meet the families and make sure that there's chemistry between them. And the fosters cry, and it's emotional. because
How is it when you have to tell somebody, no, you're not fit?
That's you guys.
And go full John
That
Q or
was
You know
Kramer
what?
versus
It
Kramer on
is,
it.
but you have to be
It's tough.
honest because it's for the best for the family potentially adopting and for the dog. You have to just be upfront.
Now, is it more just like, sorry, your house isn't fit to take care of this dog, or because you have another pet or you have kids? Like, is that the typical no, or what is what is the top reasons you would say no to somebody?
Okay, so we just did a meet last weekend with
You had me at meet.
a family, and the foster brought the dog. The woman who wanted to adopt had 4 dogs and several cats.
Oh.
And one of the dogs was very jumpy. He was, like boing boing, just jumping.
The
up
one
and
she already
down.
had, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
And this dog that we had wanted no parts of that.
And was probably a little fragile too. If you guys taking
Yes.
like special cases.
Yes, especially
Yeah.
since we didn't know his background, where he came from.
Right.
So we just kind of said it's not going to work.
Yeah, the unfortunate
And she
thing is
knew.
They wanted a fit
Yeah.
dog.
a lot of people
Yes.
get
Wow.
mad at us, and we do get a lot of whatever. I mean, they don't understand that. Like I said, we don't bring in 500 dogs at a time or 50 dogs at a time. We bring them in, and it's often, but there's a wait until they're better and until they can go on. And there's one dog and 100 people that want that one dog.
Mhm.
And then 99 people aren't going to get that dog, and one person is. So then there's 99 angry people that don't understand. I'm perfect. I have everything. I'm suited. Why can I not? But we have to do what's best for the animal, whether it's a supporter, a donor. I mean, we can't just, thank you for your donation. If you're going to donate just because you think we're going to adopt you out a dog,
Yeah,
then don't
yeah.
donate.
Yeah.
I mean, we do what's best for the animal, and everyone has a different situation. Some require a fenced-in yard, some don't.
Mhm.
Some require somebody to be home often, some don't. Some require other dogs, some don't. I mean, there's differences, and we want to set them up for success. They've probably already been tossed around or found in the street or at a shelter or come from a bad background.
Yeah.
So we don't want that to continue or perpetuate. So we want to not set them up for failure. And that's why we have to do what we have to do and find the best possible scenario for them.
I had a friend who actually adopted a child, and like he told me how much he spent to do that. Like, I think it was in the $40,000
Yeah.
to do that, to go through the whole thing. And I couldn't do it because I'm sitting there going, now he had the kid was younger than me. I had older kids at this point, and I'm sitting there going, I just think how much my kids annoy me sometimes. And if I'm looking, I'm like, I spent 40 grand on you. I'll be trying to return you or selling you for something else. But no, is there a direct fee?
We don't have flat fees because we're not a regular rescue that just says, okay, we have puppies that are, this fee, or-
$25 for a dog.
Right. We have some
They
dogs.
waive the fees because it's the holidays or something. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
We don't,
Half price cats at Petco.
we don't, we try not to do things that are going to make people want to give a dog up. Like, okay, I didn't invest much in this dog, but we know what their medical conditions are, and we will find out from the surgeons and the consults everything going forward. So we know going forward that everything they need has been taken care of, so they don't, somebody can't tell us that they can't afford it and a dog suffer or need something later on.
Let me ask you this
So-
question: has there been ever like somebody that you said, all right, listen, if you want to adopt this dog, you need to put a whole new fence around your yard. Has anybody ever gone to those limits?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
like what is the most? I'm gonna say craziest, but the most like maybe somebody spent or really did that you did not expect to happen to adopt.
I
said
think
dog?
we've actually had people. We've had dogs stay in foster care until people like that were moving actually moved into where they were moving to. Like
Okay.
maybe they had a place to move into,
Yeah.
and I mean it's not that extreme, but instead of
No, we went out and bought a
waiting
house
and they
'cause of the
wanted that
dog.
particular
No.
dog,
Yeah.
they waited until they moved. But we have had people who have put fences up
Yeah.
because there was a
Can
particular
I ask
dog.
a non-pet related question? Are you from North Jersey?
No,
From New York?
no,
Where are you from?
Delaware County.
Really?
Delco
I was just
Dawgs.
gonna say the way you say forward.
Well,
Forward.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
a New
if you want
Jersey thing,
Philly
right?
slang?
No, I hear people from around here use that too. Just like the people like even just out in Philly and like Northeast Philly, they use program. Is another word I hear a lot.
Pilgrim?
No, program instead of program.
Oh, okay.
Program. I hear a
often
lot
does
of people
pilgrim
use
come
that
up
around
in-
here too.
forward,
Forward.
forward. How are you
Yeah.
supposed to say it?
Forward.
Forward.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
yeah, we say it wrong.
Huh.
Like
Like-
orange.
Like water.
Orange.
Like my son said
Oh, yeah.
orange the other day, and I said, "Who are you?
Yeah.
Get out of my face!"
The orange crayon.
Yeah.
And the orange crayon.
It's painful to say.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, dude, when I go to like New York, I'm just like, water? Just give me H2O.
Yeah. This thing.
All right, so the network of the fosters is good. The demand for the animals once they're good to go is good.
Adoptions is down a little bit right now.
Okay, is
They
that like
are
a normal
down,
trend?
Which, yeah, I mean, it seems to
It
be
is.
a lot of rescues.
Summertime.
Breeders are having trouble selling them, which is why we're getting a lot of calls once they're past a certain age, 8, 9, 10 weeks. They start to get older. They don't really, they can't really sell them for as much. They have to start dropping the prices.
Oh, the Joe Exotic effect.
Act
Yeah.
Philly, I mean, they euthanize for space because they are a kill shelter. So once they're full and dogs continue to be surrendered, they have to euthanize. And if dogs aren't, pulled by a rescue or adopted, then that's what happens there. And, rescues get full too. Our fosters are full right now.
I was going to say the whole country's going under, dealing with it right now, but the heat
Yeah.
is up big
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
I mean, is that like another big thing?
Yeah.
With people just like, I can't take care of the dog because,
Yeah, and they let them go in this weather. I mean, there's some we actually were searching for one last week that passed away in the person's backyard.
Ugh.
It was a brachycephalic dog with breathing issues, and they didn't know the dog had gotten out and passed away in their backyard because
that's a
was
shame.
able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
there's
someone
some-
sees an animal being mistreated or in distress, what is the most efficient way to get to you guys?
Well, we can't always. I mean, we help everybody that we can, all of the police that we can, all of the animals that we can. We'll call the humane officers that we deal with. We'll get special permission. We'll call the dog
They should
wardens
reach out to you
from the
first.
Department of Agriculture. But Pennsylvania PSPCA,
Okay.
if they see a dog being abused or neglected, has a hotline, has a number that you can call. They should be able to call a local humane officer. However, right now there is not a local humane officer that they can call. So we will try to help guide them and put them in the right direction as to, I mean, we'll see if the person wants to surrender that animal, then we can help. As long as they legally surrender and fill out a surrender form, we can't, take an animal that's not surrendered, by the owner. So, I mean, they can get in touch with us on our Facebook page, send us a message. We can put them in the right direction, tell them, whether or not that's a municipality that does have animal control that might possibly be able to help.
Mhm.
See if we can find a humane officer to help. Call Pennsylvania SPCA. I mean, there are things that we can do.
Okay.
We just have to stay within our own legalities and what our rescue is allowed to do.
Right, you can't go rogue and vigilante and
We would like to, but yeah,
you
I mean,
can't.
I was going to say,
if
I
we-
mean, you
if
guys
we
have
lost
seen
it,
some pretty
we see
messed up
that.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we work with police, so we have police cases and investigations that can't be, discussed or anything. But
Mhm.
we wouldn't want to do anything that we're not supposed to do because if we lose our license, then we can't help any.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we do our best to get permission when we need permission and to do what needs to be done. Now, we won't ever leave a dog to suffer or an animal to suffer or be neglected. We will always take that animal and work it out. But there are certain situations and scenarios that we can't help that hopefully the SPCA or somebody will.
All right. Well, why don't we take this time real quick to just put it all out there. Where can they find you on all your social media, on your websites, emails, whatever it is you
Thanks,
want
we
to do?
appreciate that. Right now our website is under construction, so we will be posting all of that once once that is ready, and our new links and everything will be done shortly. We're I don't want to say we're all a little bit older, but we're a little out of the realm of like TikTok and Instagram. Like I'm
He's a
in
whole
my
bunch of TikTok
50s.
star.
So we do have somebody younger now who's working on TikTok for us. We just started on TikTok. We're just starting Instagram after 7 years. So
Instagram's a good one.
there will be, yeah. I mean, we've just been doing Facebook basically because I'm old. So for me, I don't really know much about TikTok or Instagram or any of that. But we do have a Venmo. Our Venmo is at Jill JILL hyphen Speckman SPECKMAN. Sometimes it asks for the last 4 digits of your phone number, and that would be 0600. And the picture is looks like it's a little pit bull, Queenie.
Gotcha.
That's our Venmo. Our PayPal address is donatedelcodawgs@gmail.com.
So the
And
WGS.
correct. Donate Delco Dogs.
Dogs.
And then if people want to, Glenolden is our primary vet. People want to stop into Glenolden or call them 610-237-6120. They take donations for us. And VRC is actually where we owe 6 figures right now from the last couple of months. And they are 610-647-2950. And they are on Lancaster Avenue, and they work wonderful with us, and people can call directly. If they want to send a check, I don't put my address out publicly,
idea.
but
Good
I
idea.
do. But if they send us, a message, I will respond back with the address.
It's in East Rutherford, North Jersey. You can forward it.
No, guys,
It's in East Rutherford, North Jersey. You can forward it.
guys, I remind you that this episode is brought to you by Fatcal Jerky, utterly perfect jerky. Go to fatcaljerky.com. Go on Facebook, Instagram, you name it, they got it. Check it out, fatcaljerky.com. Or if you get yourself in some trouble, you get hurt at work, in a car accident, personal injury, you know it.
You beat up a dog abuser?
Yeah. 610-565-0300. Reach out to Dave Cherry. He will take care of you. CherryInjuryLaw.com. And for the Tannis bar owner in Delco, PJ Nolan
Jerky.
Yeah. 24 East Sellers Avenue, Ridley Park, and the 1978, DolansBar.com. You never know what's going to happen. It is the most Delco bar, holds that title, and it will continue until somebody else proves them wrong. But other than that, Albrecht, you want to...
Not to interrupt your live read, but we're going to go there now just because we want to see this tan man.
Oh, he's a handsome man.
Oh, he's tan.
He's a handsome tan man. But PJ is one of the nicest guys in Delco you'll ever meet. And he's always out helping people. I know he did a lot with the Providence, a lot of events he's done there. He worked with Providence.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, he does a lot for the town. All the guys we work with do a lot for the community. So
that's great.
I mean, keep up the good work. I mean, you're 7 years in. That's awesome. It sounds like you guys got the good network, at the back end and the front end.
Yeah.
It's I know it's official and you got a business license. It's still kind of vigilante that you're just answering a Facebook and going out and doing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's phone calls and messages and emails and texts and it's just and it's 24/7. It doesn't.
And is it only within the realms of Delaware County that you guys will go?
We're Delaware County based, but we are surrounding counties: Chester County, Montgomery County. We do go to Lancaster County to take from breeders there.
Yeah, right.
Philly is active in Philadelphia, so Philadelphia County. So we are Delaware County and surrounding counties.
Do you go out of state at all? I mean, it's just a random question.
We really haven't.
Okay.
We're not really because there's so many here right now in our backyard. I mean, other people do, and that's great.
Are you legally allowed to go out of it?
So as long as there's a house certificate and stuff. I mean, there are legalities we'd have to follow, but we would do that. We did bring in one dog a couple of years ago who's paralyzed, and she is in forever foster.
Like
we'll
all
take care
4
of her
legs
for the
or
life
the
of
back
her.
one?
She can't walk. Yeah,
the back one.
So she's in forever
The little
foster, and
wheels?
we pay for her care forever.
Wow.
But she did come in from out of state. She was the only one, I think, probably. Yeah.
Guys doing God's work out there. I'll tell you how much.
We're
You're
trying.
Doing the Lord's work.
Trying to make up for.
See, guys, there's good people in Delco.
Yeah.
I won't ever hear anybody
Thank you.
BS and saying there's no good people in Delco. So
Thank you.
check them out. So Delco Dawgs, check them out, and we'll have all the information to come along with that. We thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.